Novation Automap, the only truly intelligent MIDI control. Novation, featuring Automap, the #1 choice for MIDI control.
We're here at NAMM with Eric McGregor from Newmark, Alesis, Akai, and all the other companies,
the family.
all the other things that you have under the umbrella. The latest and greatest news is that the Ableton Live fanatics have now got some hardware to get their hands on, I believe.
So this is the Akai Professional APC40. This is the Ableton Performance Controller, and the 40 refers to this 8x5 grid of clip controls on the face of this controller. One thing I want to point out immediately is this controller is utilizing a proprietary bi-directional protocol. That basically means that I can make a change on this controller and it's reflected on the screen, but that also sends the information back from the computer to my controller so the controller surface is updated as well. Anytime I make a move on a knob, the change shows up on the screen, but I also have LEDs showing me exactly where I've moved my knob to, so I'm getting feedback from the surface and from the screen. This is a really unique design, and it works perfectly with their software and our controller. Now, this rectangle, day 2 of NAMM, it refers to your 8x5 grid of clip scenes in this square right here. So I can launch different clips by touching different squares. If it's amber, it means you have a clip loaded but not playing. If it's green, there's a clip loaded and playing. If it's empty, you don't have any clips in there. And if it's red, it's armed for MIDI recording. I have track controls in the upper right, which will control pans for all 8 clips, sends A, B, and C for all 8 tracks. I also can move my square around this surface here to select different groups of clips. If I want to bank by 5 or by 8, I can hold down Shift and hit up or down or left or right. I can tap tempo, and I can also nudge the tempo. You have a device control parameter as well. This is set up for anything that's actually got an effect on it. So if I go to my master EQ, or my master controls, here's my EQ and my compressor. I can choose back and forth between the compressor, between the EQ. I can turn it off, I can turn it on, I can make changes with all my parameters, and I have 8 banks of knobs. So I've got 8 times 8 for 64 controllers, all for each one of my different effects or my devices down here. I've got an assignable crossfader that'll allow me to pick between A, B for each track, and I can crossfade back and forth between each one. I've got my play, record, and stop. And then finally, I've got my volume controls for each track, as well as record arm, solo cue, and my activator selection. I can select which track and see all the information from these tracks, and then I can stop a clip with this button press or launch an entire scene from these selections here. Again, this is the Akai Professional APC40. This comes with our Akai APC edition of Live. It features more scene selection and more effects selection. If you have a full version of Ableton Live, there's a free upgrade patch that'll basically update your computer to be perfectly seamless running on full Ableton Live with our controller. This is a $399 MAP product, going to be available in May. We've had phenomenal response so far this week. We're very excited, and all the Ableton users that have been by have absolutely loved it, hands down.